Now, let's talk about attacking the forearm, which we already know from the intro course, but let's just cover it again. So, I'm in right here. He goes to frame on my face and my hip right here like he should be doing, right? We traditionally do, like I'm going to teach you guys here in a bit, praying mantis arms, where I'm keeping my fingers together and I'm posting on the hip, I'm framing on the neck right here, okay? So as we're right here, I'm going to bring my arm up and I'm going to isolate his arm away from his body, come across, sneaky snake under, reverse motorcycle grip, or praying mantis arms. I'm going to now paint the mat with his fingertips while I raise my elbow. And this is a far side Americana, okay? And we'll get into ways of getting this arm right here to the far side violin arm bar, and sometimes I'll even chase this by stepping over and getting to this violin arm bar, right? We'll talk about attacking near side Americanas in the future, but right now I just want to give you one submission on either side, a transfer to mount, knee on belly to mount, a transfer to the back, and kind of stop there, so that way we don't overwhelm you guys with an introduction to side control. Okay? So again, right here, he's pushing on my neck. Boom. And one of the reasons why this works so well is because he is choosing, even though he's getting me further away from him, which is good for him, he is making his arm further away from his body, which is better for me. The further his arm gets from his body, the easier it is to manipulate. When his arms are very close to his body, right here, they're much harder to get away and harder to manipulate and submit. However, when he's extended right here, it's very easy to isolate an arm. So sometimes when we're right here, I'll pretend like, oh, you're not going to push me, you're not going to push me, and when he gets me far away enough, I get right here, okay? Reach across, and I like to have the square right here, the circuit, right? I sneaky snake under, grab my own wrist, keeping my fingers and my thumbs together, right? Praying mantis arms. And then this is going to pull his shoulder out of socket as I get this submission. So let's go this side. Again, I'm here. He's pushing. I'm going to use my free hand to lock this down to the mat. I'm going to bring my other hand across. I'm covering his wristwatch. Then I sneaky snake, I tell the kids, underneath his bicep, and I grab my own wristwatch. And look, he's already having to adjust. Now, I don't want my wrist down like this. I tell the kids reverse motorcycle grip, where I'm bringing my wrist to the ceiling, or praying mantis arms. I started telling them praying mantis arms more because you kind of claw like this. So I'm going to get here, lock this in. Once I have this, I go to the praying mantis arms where I'm trying to bring my wrist to the ceiling. What this is doing is it's bringing his shoulder out of the socket like we talked about, and then I'm going to paint the mat. I'm going to raise his elbow to the ceiling, and I'm going to use his fingers to paint, bringing his shoulder to the point of breaking it. So boom, and then boom. Okay? So that's attacking the far side arm. So near side arm, we got the arm bar, where my hips, the strongest part of my body, are going against his elbow joint, the weakest part of his elbow, going against his elbow joint, the weakest part of his arm, right? And I'm using my powerful hips to go against the weakest part of his isolated limb. So my entire body isolating just one limb and using the strongest part of my body against the weakest part of that limb, okay? And that's a two-dimensional break. Now, with the Americana, which is the three-dimensional break, right, as I get right here, all right? I need to now continue to twist this out of alignment in that rotational torque. And so I need to pull my opponent's shoulder from his ball and socket joint. And then if that doesn't break it, then I need to twist it up just like this. And that's how you're gonna get the far side break. So first one is joint manipulation of the elbow. The second one is rotational joint manipulation of the shoulder, okay? So now we have attack on the near side, attack on the far side. We have a way of stopping the guard with the guard blocker and how to advance that position to a knee on belly and then to mount. And by the way, the armbar and the Americana are both submissions you can do for mount. So if you look at the mount, the introduction to mount, that we do, you can see this is all of the same things being built on one another so they can all blend together, okay?